Alex Arias, third base, bats second. Brett Barbary at second base hits third. Orestes Destrade will be at first base hitting fourth. Jeff Conine, the left fielder, bats fifth. Junior Felix, right fielder, hitting sixth. Benito Santiago catching, hitting seventh. Walt Weiss, the shortstop, will bat eighth. And batting ninth and pitching Ryan Bowen. That lineup facing Big Ben Rivera.
There's Ben Rivera. There you see the numbers on Ben, who has had control troubles this year. He did beat the Florida Marlins earlier, 10-3 on the 17th of May down there. But he walked 7 in that game, pitched just 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, was in a lot of trouble. Phillies are looking for a good outing for him tonight because they need to win a ball game. There you see Ks for 9 innings, 5.5 walks per 9 innings. Not good.
Defensively behind Ben, it'll be Kim Baptiste at third base, Mariano Duncan shortstop, Mickey Morandini at second, John Kruk back at first. Darren Daulton doing the catching in the outfield from left to right. It's Milt Thompson, Lenny Dykstra, and Jim Eisenreich. The umpires tonight, the crew chief, Bruce Fremming, will call the balls and strikes. Ed Montague at first base, Mike Winters at second, and Brian Gorman will umpire at third. As Wheels mentioned at the top, the St. Louis Cardinals losing today to the Chicago Cubs, so the Phillies lead in National League East is 9 games coming into play tonight. Bob Schumann of Pitman, New Jersey, celebrating his 70th birthday today, and Danielle Hudak celebrating her 3rd birthday today.
The main thing with the Phillies is they haven't hit much in the last 3 games. You know, they left all those runners on base up in Montreal, and then last night Hammond just totally shut them down. And then you get to Brian Harvey, and nobody hits Brian Harvey, it seems like. I mean, once Renee Latchman, you see him there, gets Brian Harvey into a ball game from Florida this year, it's basically over. And it was last night.
20 of 21 on the save opportunity. The only failed save for Harvey this year was against San Diego. Gary Sheffield hurt him. Chuck Carr will lead it off. Carr hitting at .257, switch hitter, batting better right than left. .321 right-handed, .223 left-handed. That's trouble. Carr with his speed is going to beat that out. A swinging bunt base hit. And now Carr will have to be watched. He's tied for the league lead in stolen bases.
Okay, well, I think he's limping too. It looked like he hurt himself going down the line. As Harry said, this is going to be trouble right out of the chute because of the way he runs. But after he got by the bag, all of a sudden he started to limp. He may have just hit his foot on the bag going by, or his ankle or something, but he was a little slow coming back.
First base coach Vada Pinson checking him out, says he's all right, so Carr will stay in there. 27 stolen bases for Carr. He's only been thrown out 9 times. He's tied for first in stolen bases with Vince Coleman of New York.
Rivera has trouble holding runners on because he has such a big leg kick.
Carr has a big lead. He holds on the first pitch, and it's a called strike to Alex Arias.
Arias showing him the bat up there in the strike zone. He's not going to bunt, it doesn't look like. All he's trying to do is maybe distract Darren Daulton a little bit if Carr decided to take off and run on the first pitch.
Again, line drive to left center. Thompson makes the running grab. Good catch by Milt. Carr has to scurry back to first. Nice play by Milt Thompson on the ball that was kind of taken off on him.
Yeah, that ball looked at the last second as if it was going to go over his head. As Harry said, it looked like it took off because it was such a low line drive and hit so hard. Probably a little hard to judge, too, at this time of night in the twilight. And Thompson, who's played outstanding defense all year, just runs it down. Oh, it did almost go over his head.
Brings on Brett Barbary, also a switch hitter, hitting better right-handed than left. .367 right-handed, .269 left-handed.
Magadan not in the lineup tonight, a late scratch because of a sore right elbow. And they don't even know whether he's able to pinch hit tonight. According to Florida people, they like to give him a night or 2 off to try and get his elbow better.
Best wishes for a speedy recovery to Don Fisk in Shore Memorial Hospital. They pitch out, but Rivera gives Dalton a bad pitch out to handle, and it's a stolen base. Carr, without a throw, is 28.
Yeah, they guessed right, but the pitch out's down and in. Look where it is.
Close to the strike zone.
Yeah, close to the strike zone, and he has to reach down for it. The catcher wants that pitch out up near his numbers, up near his letters, so he can just come up firing. And Dalton wisely just held on to it.
Number 28 for Chuck Carr. One ball and no strikes to Barbary. Time called.
Carr does a lot of jumping around when he gets out on the bases. Speed's his main asset. And it looked like he ran pretty well on that, although it still appears he has a slight limp.
Don Fisk, Shore Memorial Hospital, longtime Phillies fan. Speedy recovery to him. Throw to second. Oh! Almost picked him off. Rivera to Duncan, and Carr just barely got back.
Only reason he's not out is the throw must be a little bit high because it beat him. Yep, he got back. Duncan had to take the throw. It was up, and he had to come down with the tag.
Close.
He spun his wheels a little bit coming back, too. He had such a huge lead.
Catch by Dalton. 2 balls and no strikes to Barbary.
Birthday wishes tonight to Albert Wardwell Sr. in Cinnaminson, New Jersey. He's 75. And to Adam Collins from Sharon Hill.
2 balls and no strikes to Barbary. Barbary batting at .296. Third pick in the first round of the expansion draft from Montreal, and he takes it low, 3-0.
Barbary's a guy that is probably playing his best position right now, second base, and he wasn't going to play much second base with Montreal because of Delano DeShields. So coming over here to Florida, he was perfect to fit in at second, and they have an outstanding shortstop in Walt Weiss.
Got that one over, 3-1. Send our best to Tilly Silverstein in Chester County Hospital. Great Phillies fan. Recovering from a broken hip. 3-1 to Barbary. Got that one over. It's a full count. Chased a low pitch, and he struck him out. That's 2 down. Barbary going after a low one. It'll bring on Orestes Estrada.
Good comeback by Ben Rivera. He threw him 2 fastballs that he took and then chased the bad ball to strike out.
Estrada hitting at .256. 5 homers. He's knocked in 33. Another switch hitter. 4 of his 5 home runs have been hit from the left side.
Also 7 of his 10 doubles, so he looks like he's a little quicker from the left side.
Didn't look quick on that one.
Sure did.
No balls and 1 strike.
He either got fooled looking for a pitch, or Ben Rivera's throwing 120 mile an hour. And they play him to pull too in the outfield. So they don't expect him to do too much of that.
Estrada from Cuba led the Japanese Professional League in home runs the last 3 years. Bouncing foul past Pinson, 0-2.
Got off to a slow start with Florida and has been swinging the bat pretty well lately the last 3-4 weeks. In fact, when the Phillies saw them, he had a bad game against the Phillies, and they sat him down one night, and they said he had some back problems.
Liz and Harry McMonigal of Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, celebrated an anniversary recently, their 9th. Wide with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Estrada's a guy I think you want to off-speed him as much as possible. And Ben Rivera, when he has his good curveball, is able to do that to left-handed hitters. This guy looks like he really wants to hit the fastball, especially from the left side.
Curveball missed low. 2-2.
Yeah, they had him set up to go that. But it just, that ball wasn't one you're necessarily going to swing at.
John McKee, the second, born June 14th. Angela Rose Kolonkevitz, born on June 16th, making Jack and Isabel McKee proud grandma and grandpa. Izzy watching the game down at the shore. Jack here at the ballpark. Struck him out with a fastball. Estrada is called out on strikes. That'll retire the side. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left. After 1/2, Florida nothing. Phil's coming to bat.
Brian Bowen's the kind of left-hander that a right-hander that left-handed hitters love if he's not getting their breaking ball over. And he throws Dykstra a fastball there, and he just wheels on it. He throws fastballs like that to these left-handed hitters. The Phillies will handle him tonight.
Brings on Mariano Duncan, hitting at .250. Bowen lifetime in the National League is 10-17. Against the Phillies, he's 0-1. While in the Houston uniform, high lifetime ERA against the Phils, 7.20, but he hasn't pitched all that many innings against the Phillies. Fastball just missed.
Phillies saw him in a game in Florida a few years ago, final exhibition game of the spring, when Nolan Ryan got scratched at the last minute. They put him in, and we were really impressed with him that day.
Bouncing ball on the right side. That'll move the runner up. So Duncan gets the job done, moving Dykstra to third base, where with one out, it'll bring on John Kruk.
Execution, and that's what Mariano Duncan does. You know, you hit a little weak ground ball to second, all your teammates shake your hand.
Doesn't matter how hard you hit it in that situation, especially early in the game, to get on the board first. And you want to get that runner to third base somehow.
And that's why Duncan's doing such a good job as a two-hole hitter, because he'll give himself up like that.
And Florida will keep their infield back with the runner at third base and one down for the Crucker, who's hitting at .362. Second in the league in hitting, behind only Andres Galarraga, who's hitting .433. Kruk leads the league in on-base percentage, 7th in the league in slugging percentage. 2 balls and no strikes. So long our best for speedy recovery to Joan Lubin in the Jefferson Hospital.
Kruk has a lifetime home run off Ryan Bowen.
Bouncing ball, tap foul down the first base side. It's 2-1 to John Kruk. Kruk sitting out last night's game. Lifetime off Bowen. He is 2 for 4 with that homer. Laid off the low curveball, 3-1.
This is where you should get a fastball to hit, and Kruk has a heck of a chance to pick up an RBI hitting a fastball now off Ryan Bowen. You wouldn't think he would throw breaking ball with Darren Dalton waiting on deck.
3 balls and a strike to John Kruk. Fouled it out of play, left field side. It is a full count. Charmaine Whitten of Westville, New Jersey, celebrating a birthday right here at the ballpark tonight. Birthday wishes to Joan and Angel Carpani. Full count to the Crucker. Lenny Dykstra at third with one out, bottom of the first. He's aboard with his 54th walk. He now leads the league in that department, one ahead of teammate Darren Dalton. The Phillies have runners at first and third for Dutch Dalton.
No, Kruk does so many things well, but I think one of the things that goes unnoticed with him is how unselfish he is. And there's a situation where he could have maybe chased a bad ball, trying to get an RBI, pick it up for himself. He takes the pitch, and he lets Darren Daulton come up in this situation. And Kruk is really the ultimate team player.
Daulton with 54 runs batted in. He's second in the league in that department, behind only Matt Williams of San Francisco. Took it high for a ball. One ball and no strikes to Darren Daulton. Missing again, 2-0.
So far, Bowen, Harry's having trouble with his curveball. And that is a few times we've seen this guy. If he's not getting the curveball over, you can hit him. When he gets his curveball over, he's really tough. Same could be said for Ben Rivera.
Fastball on the outside corner at the knees. It's 2-1. Birthday wishes to Jay Gossick, celebrating his 25th, from wife Karen, who's in the executive dining room here at the ballpark.
Renee's brother.
Jay?
Sure.
All right.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Here's a drive into deep left center field. This will get at least one home off the top of the fence. It'll get 2 home. Dykstra scores. Kruk safe at home plate. A 2-run double by Darren Daulton, and the Phillies lead it 2-0.
Well, Darren Daulton gets his RBI. As we said before, with Ryan Bowen out there throwing a lot of fastballs to these left-handed hitters, the Phillies really have a shot at this guy tonight because he's not getting the curveball over. And Daulton hits it off the top of the wall. Kruk is not running real well, and a lot of plays at home plate right now are close with him. And this turned out to be another one when it didn't appear it was going to be.
But Kruk read the hit pretty well. I mean, he was around second when the ball hit off. Gave Bo a chance to score him. Eisenreich sends it deep to the opposite field, but it'll be caught by Conine. So Eisenreich out for out number 2. Darren Daulton now with 56 runs batted in.
Well, Kruk is a good base runner, and as you said, he did what he could do, but he's just not running all that well, and that's why he's been getting thrown out at home plate on some balls that when he's a little healthier, he'll score on them.
Here's Milt Thompson hitting at .237. Lenny Dykstra's run scored was his 59th. He leads the league and has scored in 13 consecutive games.
There he is. He's been the ultimate table setter lately for the Phillies lineup.
Really?
He is on his game.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Lenny likes to call himself a situation baseball player, and when you watch him day after day, that's exactly what he is. The other night, a home run is what he should get. He gets it. Other times, it's a walk.
He's doing everything a leadoff man can do. He's disappointed that he's not hitting 300. But talking to him the other day, I said, dude, I don't care if you hit 260. If you keep scoring runs and doing what you're doing, we're going to win games, you know.
Exactly.
Sometimes that batting average is an overinflated stat.
I think one of the things he's really disappointed in himself in is his failure to produce with runners in scoring position better than he has this year, because he is an RBI man at the top of your lineup. And that's something that he wants to do better as the season goes along.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Thompson. He got him with a breaking ball. A foul tip struck him out. But the Phils scored 2 in the inning on Dalton's 2-run double. 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. After 1, 2-0 Phils. In Florida, nothing. Upcoming Phillies telecasts include tomorrow night's game on Prism at 7:30 and Sunday afternoon's game right here on PHL 17 after the pregame. Florida here in the second. Conine hitting at .289. Helen Kennedy celebrating her 74th birthday today. Helen, the mother of Gary Tinnany, of the Phillies' outstanding ground crew here at the vet. Fouled it back, 0-2 to Conine.
Conine looks like he's an opposite field hitter at this point. They think they're going to get some power out of him eventually, but just 2 home runs, and Phillies shade him slightly towards right center.
On the outside corner, struck him out. 3rd straight strikeout for Ben Rivera. 1 down here in the 2nd.
Ben had a terrific fastball in New York on Sunday, and he has it again tonight. He has really come out throwing hard. And Bruce Fremming is normally a pitcher's umpire, and he'll expand that play a little bit, which is a good sign for Ben Rivera.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies. Any rebroadcast without the express written consent of the Phillies is prohibited. Here's Junior Felix, a switch hitter, batting at .225. One strike. Phillies lead 2-0 here in the 2nd.
He was getting ahead of the hitters in New York on Sunday, and he seems to be doing that tonight.
Low, it's 2-1. Daddy Unicki recently celebrated a birthday when we were in Montreal. Great Phillies fan, never misses a game. He carries a Phillies troll for good luck. And the Phils have enjoyed that good luck charm so far this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Junior Felix.
Junior Felix was up early with this ball club. Then they sent him out. You saw some numbers on him in Edmonton, and just recently back. He had a horrible game against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Three Rivers Stadium. It made all those baseball tonight reels and all that stuff. Errors and missing balls, and they sent him out right after that.
He loops that into shallow left center, but Duncan has time to get out and squeeze it. 2 down. It'll bring on Benito Santiago. Benito hitting at .229. Lifetime against Rivera, he is 1 for 3. It was a home run. Phil's lead 2-0. One ball and no strikes to Santiago. Another good crowd on hand tonight. Big crowds for this weekend series, the first ever for Florida at Veterans Stadium, and Sundays is sold out.
Yeah, the Phillies have an advanced sellout for Sunday, and are telling people, you know, if you're thinking about coming to the ball game on Sunday, you can't, because there aren't any tickets available. It's really a tribute to the way the fans have been coming out to see this club play.
2 balls and no strikes to Santiago. Got that fastball over.
Send our best wishes along to Brett Turner from Villanova, recuperating from a broken collarbone.
Any fan who's already purchased tickets for Sunday on hold still may pick them up anytime after 9 a.m. Sunday morning. But if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, it is sold out. Oh, good fastball. Benny was looking for it, didn't get it. Santiago, it's a full count to him.
This is his best fastball of the year. I guess maybe on Sunday they close, but he is really firing in these first couple innings.
Lace to left field, but Thompson's there, and that'll retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Phil's lead 2-0. 83 tomorrow. Still some tickets available for that game tomorrow night. The Upper Deck Heroes baseball game at 6. Phil's and the Marlins at 7:30. Kim Baptiste hitting at .286. Smokes the ball into left center field. Conine can't get it. One hop and off the fence. A stand-up double for Baptiste. Phillies lead the league in doubles, and that's the third two-base hit for the Phils tonight.
Batista's been having a lot of trouble with off-speed pitches. And he gets that ball down in the strike zone right above his knees and nails it in the gap in left center. Conine was playing it pretty shallow out there, too, and had no shot.
That'll bring on Mickey Morandini. Mickey hitting at .239. Tied for second in the league in triples with 5 of them.
Happy 95th birthday today to John Delfo of Beaver Meadows, Pennsylvania. 95.
Phils lead at 2-0 here in the second. Morandini takes it on the outside corner for a called strike. Terry Mulholland pitches tomorrow night against Jack Armstrong. On Sunday, it'll be Tommy Green and the knuckleballer Charlie Huff. 2 quick strikes to Morandini. Squirrel on the field now. Running right in front of Ben Rivera. Now down the right field line in front of the stands. Breaking ball missing.
Gonna have a tough time finding a tree.
Well, if Ben Rivera stands up, he's in the on-deck circle.
He's gonna climb him.
Yeah. Ben's 6'6". Good speed, that squirrel. Startling our cameramen.
Ricky Jordan's trying to find him.
Ball and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes to Morandini.
Not one of those
at second.
Excuse me, Harry. Not one of those necessarily move him over situations either, with a pitcher coming up next, and Ben not a real good hitting pitcher. So Morandini's thinking more of trying to drive a ball somewhere.
Bouncing it up there. Owen having trouble with his curveball. He's had to rely on the heater.
And when he does that, more than not, he's going to get hurt. Phillies would like to get Morandini on and use Rivera to bunt because he's excellent at sacrificing.
Second in the league with 9. Fouled it straight back. Full count holds to Mickey Morandini. Owens from Hanford, California. He was the 6th pick in the 3rd round of the expansion draft from Houston. Ball to the shortstop. Weiss throws out Morandini. Batiste moves up to 3rd. And with 1 out, it'll bring on Ben Rivera. Birthday wishes tonight to Danny Brockman watching the ball game.
Phillies aren't a team that squeezes for the most part, and I don't think they would squeeze in this situation because they want to get Lenny Dykstra up here. And you don't want to take a chance on bunting into one of those double plays.
Marlins bring the infield in. Ben hitting at 111.
I didn't mean to get Ben Rivera out of the way for for Dykstra, but Ben will take his hacks.
Ben's lifetime average just over 100. Does have 2 career RBIs. Has missed a couple of curveballs. Almost swung at that one that bounced up there.
Nice play by Santiago, too, to save a run.
Ball and 2 strikes. Fastball away. 2-2. Ground ball hit to Weiss. Throws Rivera out. Batiste has to hold at third, and the batter will be Lenny Dykstra. Dude doubled and scored a run his first time up. Paul Weiss, veteran shortstop, and a good one for the Marlins.
He's played on championship teams with Oakland. He's had a lot of injury problems over the last couple of years. A broken ankle, a knee problem. Probably one of the reasons why they left him unprotected, because he's been so injury prone. But when the guy's healthy, he can really play that position.
Weiss, 29 years old. One strike to Lenny Dykstra. Missing, 1 ball and 1 strike. Phil's lead 2-0. We're in the bottom of the second. Another good curveball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Batiste over at third base. Phillies trying to get him home with another run. They lead 2-0.
He drills that ball, but it's a foul ball. Home run distance, but foul. Get the ball middle in to Lenny Dykstra, a fastball, and he can turn on it.
Well, yeah, and that is especially why they're throwing him so many breaking balls. I mean, Ryan Bowen tries to throw a fastball by him, and Lenny Dykstra's locked into his fastball early in this game.
Ahead in the count, Bowen will probably go back to the curveball here.
Well, he has a pitch to play with here at just 1 and 2. You wouldn't think he'd throw him any fastballs middle in after that swing.
Another fastball, and he lofts it deep down the right field line into the corner. It's a foul ball and can't be handled by Junior Felix.
Well, you wouldn't think he'd throw him a fastball middle in, would you?
He did.
And now after 2 of those, you wouldn't think he'd get another one.
Junior Felix in the corner here on this foul ball, trying to make the play.
Hit right above his glove. Off the padding and came down.
No play. Although I'll bet you Eisenreich would have caught it. He's the best I ever saw catching balls foul territory and right when there's only a couple of feet foul ground. Somehow he's always there. Close. 2-2.
Now he went away with a fastball that time, and he thought he had strike 3. I think Lenny might have walked away, too, if Bruce Fleming rung him up on that. This is really close. I mean, that's a strike.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball into shallow center field. Chuck Carr coming on. Makes the grab. That'll retire the side for the Phils in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. After 2-0 Phillies. Our trivia question tonight: can you name the 4 players who played right field for the Phils in the 1983 World Series? There were 4 of them. Walt Weiss will lead it off. He's batting at .307. Weiss, good hitter in that 8 hole. So good that he's been intentionally walked 9 times. That's second most in the league, only to Barry Bonds, who has been intentionally passed 16 times this year. Ground ball to the shortstop, Mariano Duncan. Gets Weiss. One down on one pitch. That'll bring on Ryan Bowen. Bowen, the pitcher, hitting a 115, one extra base, hit a triple. He's knocked in 2. Phillies will be conducting a tryout camp next Thursday at the University of Pennsylvania at 10 a.m. American Legion players asked to get permission from their post commander. For all non-drafted players, chases a high fastball, does Bowen. That'll be at the University of Pennsylvania field on Thursday, 10 a.m. Mage McDonald, Jack Pastore, Joe Romano, Ken Holtzapper, Rob Holliday will all be on hand. Some good players have been signed at those tryout camps, so if you're an aspiring player, give it a shot. Popped up in the infield. Mariano Duncan puts it away for out number 2.
Send best wishes along to a speedy recovery for Bill Finnegan from Drexel University, at home recovering from bypass surgery.
Chuck Carr got an infield single his first time up. 2 outs and no base runners. That's the only hit off Rivera. Rivera's retired 8 in a row since then. Carr takes a strike. It was a swinging bunt base hit, is the only thing Ben's given up. He is throwing strikes here in the early going, which is a good sign for the big right-hander. 1-1.
Well, when Ben Rivera gets ahead of hitters, he's very difficult for hitters to handle because his ball moves so much. He has great velocity, and he has a very good curveball to go along with it.
One hopper to Morandini. Chuck Carr retired. So are the Marlins here in the 3rd. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Phil's lead 2-0. Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By your Quality Plus Ford dealers who invite you to come in and test drive the brand new 1993 Probe. And by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide insurance agent in Springfield is Rocco Polidoro. Mariano Duncan leads off. 1 ball and no strikes. He committed 1-1. Our trivia question tonight: can you name the 4 players who played right field for the Phils in the '83 World Series?
How about Pete Rose?
1 of them.
Sixto Lezcano.
2 of them.
Joe Frenchie LaFay.
3 of them. Bouncing ball to Destrade, and he'll make the play himself.
And that guy who's in the charter fishing boat business, Von Hayes.
That is correct. All 4 of them played right field. Von will be back for that game tomorrow night, the Upper Deck Heroes Old Timers game. Question about that game: will Larry Anderson be pitching in both games? Andy was a member of that '83 team, you know.
I think he'll be introduced in the first one, Harry.
John Kruk walked and scored a run his first time up.
Although Terry Mulholland might tell him, go ahead, pitch in the first game because I don't need you in the second.
1 ball and no strikes. Doing nothing to Kruk.
Larry Anderson could play in old timers games from '73.
Now has scored 50 runs. He's 3rd in the league in that department, and leads the league in walks.
And he walked his first time up to set up Dalton.
He walks his second time up.
You know, when you see a guy walk as much as Kruk is, sometimes you think he's he's not being aggressive. And he's not doing the kinds of things he can do with the bat. In Kruk's case, it's not true. He is very aggressive. He's just selective.
Here's Darren Dalton. He doubled to knock in the Phillies 2 runs his first time up. Ryan Bowen must not have heard Kruk's proclamation.
That's right.
See those stolen base column? 2. Don't figure out any more the rest of the year, says Krucker.
It's going to be an accident if he gets one. He'll be on a hit and run or something that the guy might swing through and he'll get a stolen base out of it.
Now balls and a strike to Darren Dalton. Plays off the curveball. 1-1. Phillies are leading it 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Look at that uniform already. Soaking wet so that this dirt's turned into mud already. He's beautiful.
Kruk's probably telling Destrade, tell it, man, I'm not going to be running.
Did those guys tell you that?
He got the curveball over for a called strike, 1-2.
It's not like he's taking a big lead and enticing the pitcher to throw over there either. There he's on the bag still.
Another curveball, fooled him with it, struck you out. Second strikeout for Bowen.
Dalton thought he was going to get a fastball here, and he's swinging fastball, and Ryan Bowen has an excellent curveball when he gets it going.
Well, he drops at the plate, as you saw, and the batter will be Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich lined out to deep left his first time up. They really bunch him in the outfield, totally giving him the lines and taking away the alleys. Missing with the deuce, 1-0. There you see how wide open the lines are.
He hits one down that right field corner. You might see Kruk chugging around again.
One ball and 1 strike to Eisenreich. As easy to see, has a 7-game hitting streak going for him. About that John Olerud, he has a 22-gamer going.
400 hitter. Well, we've seen enough of him over the years, Harry. You just, in all those exhibition games, he's just one of the best-looking young hitters you'll ever see.
2 balls and a strike. High, 3-1. Olerud hitting .404 coming into play tonight.
Now his .404, not to take anything away from Galarraga, but Galarraga is way down in plate appearances because he was out for a while with a leg problem. Olerud's been playing every day and is still hitting over 400 late in June. Long time since somebody's been hitting 400 this late in the season, I think, with that many at bats.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Bowen keeping a close eye on the Krucker at first. Bouncing ball up the middle. Barbary throws to Wise for the force on Kruk, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Rich Ashburn joins Chris Wheeler for play-by-play in the 4th at the end.
Rich Ashburn.
You got the right one, baby.
Notes waiting for you when you come in.
Yeah, I know why you guys didn't do these. You can't read them.
Here's Alex Arias will lead it off, followed by Brett Barbary, and then Orestes Destrade here in the 4th inning. 2-0 Phils lead it. Ben Rivera gets a curveball over for a strike.
Mike Contudis in Northeast Philly, recuperating just out of the hospital.
Rivera tonight with 3 strikeouts through 3 innings. Arias playing tonight. Magadan is injured. That's a bad elbow. So they have Arias playing at third base for him. Alex Arias, formerly with the Chicago Cubs, had a 5-hit ball game last year for Cubs.
He looked like a pretty good ball player over there. I think the Marlins really made some good selections in their expansion draft.
That's a fair ball. See what happens. Eisenreich gets on it quickly, and Arias will stay at first with a long single. Got a good bounce off the box seats down there right to Eisenreich.
Well, there's an art to playing those ricochets off the lower box seats. First thing you have to do is make up your mind that it's going to hit the lower box seats. If you miss on that one, sometimes you wind up chasing that ball in the corner, but that had the facing of those seats by plenty, and Eisenreich played it perfectly.
And Brett Barbary, the batter, he struck out his first time up. That's hit number 2 for Florida. Weak ground ball to second. Morandini, can he get Barbary? Just got him. Nice play. Mickey Morandini, 1 down.
I think he did that all in one motion because that's all the time he had. Caught the ball, whirled quickly. Nice play. The ball was almost by him. Gave Kruk a good throw. Just got him.
And there's 1 out for Orestes Destrade, switch hitter, batting left-handed. He struck out his first time up.
Walter Tannock recuperating in the Delaware Valley Medical Center.
Breaking ball high, ball 1. Destrade at 255 with 5 homers, 33 runs batted in, the native of Cuba. As is Cookie Rojas, his third base coach.
Preston McCabe recuperating. Booth Wynn from hip surgery.
Two balls and a strike.
Linda Reherd, Lancaster, recuperating from shoulder surgery.
A lot of recuperations going on for you tonight here,
huh? You left them for me, didn't you?
2 balls and 1 strike. Strike on the outside corner to Destrade. Ben Rivera has been making good pitches to him tonight.
Ruth Maxwell, 83 years old today in Bridgeton, New Jersey.
Alex Arias, a runner at second base. You see him there at the bottom of the picture. Phillies with a 2-0 lead here in the 4th inning.
Ooh.
Outside, and it's full.
Close pitch to take.
Bruce Fleming's been calling some pitches away tonight on hitters. That one just missing. Three balls and 2 strikes with Conine waiting. Struck him out almost in the same spot, and that one is strike 3 called, and Destrade walks away. Strikeout number 4 for Rivera.
Ben missed one. Thought, well, I'll try it again. Just like the other one, too close to take, probably, obviously.
So there are 2 outs in the inning now for Conine, himself a strikeout victim, leading off the second.
Anthony Dentino, 68 today.
Chip Conine playing in the outfield, also a first baseman. Ooh, look out. That's a wild. Oh, it hit him. Bruce Fremming says it hit him. So he's going to send Arias back to second. Conine's just lying there at home plate. His life just flashed in front of him.
That must have just ticked his helmet, I believe. Well, that wasn't intentional.
Ooh.
Oh,
that was nasty.
Hit the bill of his cap, didn't it?
Telling you, I don't know how he get out of the way of that. And that was a riding fastball right up around his head.
Well, that's why you wear those helmets.
I believe guys that played in your era didn't wear helmets.
No.
You used to always wear that liner when you played.
Well, that's when they made the rule. You had to either wear a helmet or they let the players who had worn helmet liners continue to wear them. But there were a lot of years there where they didn't wear anything.
Yeah, and now they make them wear the ear flaps too.
Funny part of it is, it didn't seem like you had many guys hurt without helmets.
Junior Felix, the batter, takes a breaking ball high for ball one. Felix hit a pop-up his first time up to the shortstop Mariano Duncan. Florida has 2 on with 2 outs here in the fourth, with the Phillies up by 2 at 2-0. Benito Santiago, the on-deck batter. Felix, another player out of that fertile Toronto Blue Jays farm system. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. Rivera's been pitching ahead for the most part. Now he gets behind him. On the outside corner for a strike. Phillies with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and the Marlins now with no runs, 2 hits. And they also have not committed an error.
Felix has some power. Be careful with him.
7 homers on the year. Aaron Dalton trying to stay away from giving him a fastball to hit, but now they're behind 3-1 as a breaking ball comes up there low. I just think you'll get one now. Gets the fastball and fouls it away. So the count full now, 3-2. The runners will be off on the pitch. Arias from second and Conine from first.
Last 2 really good games that Rivera has pitched, Todd Pratt caught him.
That's right. He caught him in New York and in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Fregosi looking for some playing time for Pratt and giving Dalton those games off. Here's the 3-2. Jammed it, but it's a base hit to right field. Scoring is 1 run. Arias over to third goes Conine, and now it's a 2-1 ball game as Junior Felix drives in his 22nd run of the year.
I fastball in on him a little bit and didn't get it all, but he got a pretty good piece of it. Nice swing by Felix.
Yeah, one of the few times he's run a deep count tonight, too, and he got hurt on it. We mentioned he looked like Darren Dalton really wanted to stay away from giving Felix a fastball. Finally had to in that situation. Santiago, the batter, he lined out hard to Milt Thompson in left field. Benito 0 for 1 at just 228. Still has a good opposite field power. Hit a ball off the wall last night in right center.
This guy is up there to swing. You never know what he's going to swing at. You never know how hard he's going to hit it.
There he goes to right field, but this is playable for Eisenreich. He grabs it, and that'll do it in the inning. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. To the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Phillies.
All she ever knew was silence. All he wanted was a chance to be heard.
You want to talk to me, then you...
All right, Neil, thank you very much. And Milt Thompson will lead it off for the Phillies. As you take a look at the Phils bench, Ben Rivera is sitting there with the warm-up jacket on that right arm. Ricky Jordan beside him. Thompson struck out on a breaking ball his first time up, and Bowen throws him a curveball for strike 1. That's the whole key to Ryan Bowen, and he started to get the breaking ball over a little bit in the last couple innings. And he misses outside, and it's 0-1, or 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Milt Thompson. Kim Batiste to follow, and then Mickey Morandini. High chopper. Tough play for Barbary. He'll need Bowen, and he won't get him. Base hit. Milt Thompson, who legged it out, and that's hit number 4 for the Phillies. They have their leadoff man on here in the 4th.
Barbary almost made a great play to Bowen, the pitcher. Bowen didn't get over there in time. And Milt just beat him to the bag by about a half a step.
Tough to lead a pitcher from that distance, a running target like that. And Barbary did a pretty good job. The throw was low, but as Whitey said, he was late getting there. Batiste doubled to left center his first time up. That was Kim's 4th on the year. He's hitting at .296, playing third base since Hollins has been out. Thompson a threat to run. Milt has stolen 7 bases in 9 attempts. And Ryan Bowen moves over to first a lot when somebody gets over there.
I think the loss of Hollins is starting to kick in a little bit. You know, Kim Batiste has done a good job, but nobody replaced what Hollins did in there in the middle of the lineup in the cleanup spot. Home runs, RBIs, walks, runs scored.
Oh, the Phillies lost one of the most productive offensive players in the whole league, and he will be out for a while. Although Hollins is hopeful to get back sooner than they think. Bluffs running does. Thompson stops, and the pitch is inside ball 1. Dave's been around in the clubhouse last night, and there he is on the bench tonight. Dave Hollins wants to be around his teammates, and it's just killing them they can't play. Has a cast in that right hand. It's Jeff Manto sitting next to him. Hope he doesn't have it on tonight. See how quick he wants to get back. See if they can get 2 out of this. They did. 6-4-3 on the double play. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th inning, and Morandini the hitter.
Almost a perfect double play ball. Good flip there by Weiss. And a strong throw by Barbary.
One thing that the Florida Marlins are doing very, very well is they're playing good defense. They made terrific plays here last night, and they're making all the plays tonight. They have good pitching, and they stay close in games and give themselves a chance to win. Mickey grounded is short his first time up. He's batting at .238. On deck is Rivera. Phil's lead it by a run at 2-1 here in the 4th. Bowens walked 2 and struck out 2.
Has the same number of strikeouts as walks this year, 53.
Barbary, good defensive second baseman, throws out Morandini. Phils are gone in the 4th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. 2-4, 2-1 Phillies. As Walt Weiss will lead it off. Weiss, the number 8 hole hitter, followed by pitcher Ryan Bowen. Then the top of the order in Chuck Carr. Outside, Weiss is switch hitter. 322 from the left side, 260 right-handed beginning the game tonight, 305 overall. Weiss having a good year, his first year in the National League. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Grounder to first. Kruk, a good play. Rivera was late getting there, but he made it. Ben Rivera turned into a spectator for a while, but he still got there in time to get Weiss 1 away.
Yeah, Ben got there a little late, and what made the play for him is that he didn't hesitate when he had to catch the ball. Some pitchers hesitate. In fact, we saw Bowen do that earlier, but he caught the ball and just kept going.
And
nice
beat
play,
him by,
nice call.
Yep, beat him by half a step, as you see on that freeze frame there. I think Ben thought that ball was foul off the bat because he didn't break right away. And Ryan Bowen, the batter, he popped a short his first time up. He's 3 for 27 on the year, batting at 111. There's a line drive to left. Thompson can't get it. A base hit. Bowen will make the turn at first and hang on there as Rivera made a mistake to him, and he made him pay for it.
Frame a high fastball right down the middle. The ball almost kicked by Milt Thompson, who was playing very shallow out there.
A couple of fireworks shows coming up on Friday, July the 2nd. A 4:35 makeup doubleheader. Fireworks afterwards, and the next night after the game at 7:05. These nights are compliments of Mellon PSFS. It's a gigantic aerial fireworks display put to music. Chuck Carr, the batter, got an infield hit, stole a base, his 28th of the year. He leads the league in that category, and he's grounded to second. Bowen, the runner at first base with one out. Carr hits it towards the gap in right center, and it's trouble. Going all the way to the wall. Here comes Ryan Bowen around third. He's going to score, and Carr's going to wind up at third with a stand-up triple, and the game is now tied at 2.
Rivera's really grooving some pitches. This pitch was up that Carr hit right through the middle of the plate. They were playing Carr to hit the opposite field, and he split that gap. Thanks for a long run, and Carr's great speed, no play at all anywhere.
And surprisingly, that's his first triple of the year. The reason probably being that he doesn't drive the ball that often, especially left-handed. So the Phillies are going to have to play the infield all the way in as Ryan Bowen catches his breath there on the bench next to his catcher Benito Santiago. And Alex Arias, the hitter, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Marlins have now out-hit the Phillies 5-4, and the game is tied. Rivera sailed through the first 3 innings, was really overpowering, and now has run into trouble in the last 2 innings.
And the pitcher started this with a base hit.
One ball and no strikes to Alex Arias, the third baseman. Fly ball center field. Should be deep enough to get Carr home. Dykstra grabs it. He won't even throw it in. Carr scores, and the Marlins lead it 3-2. Chuck Carr just went flying by Ben Rivera, almost ran into him. Rivera didn't like it.
Well, the runner gets a chance to score.
So Arias gets congratulations as he knocks in a run, his 12th of the year, and the Marlins with 2 here in the 5th lead it 3-2. For Brett Barbary with 2 outs and nobody on base. And it's a strike called with a fastball. No balls and a strike. Here are the totals on the game, as the Phillies have lost 3 in a row and trying not to make it 4 tonight. Florida playing them well again. 1-1. Barbary yet another switch hit. They have 5 of them in the lineup tonight through the Florida Marlins. He's a little better hitter from the right side, average-wise. There's another bad pitch. A high fastball and hit into right field for a base hit by Barbary. So Rivera's gotten kind of sloppy in this inning, and it's hurt him. And here comes Johnny Padres out for a talk.
They got the first batter out on that play at first. And everything else has been up a little bit, and he kind of tomahawked this pitch. It was out of the strike zone. Barbary's a good little ball player, and this was a real opportunity for him to join this expansion team and play in a regular position.
He was out for a while with a bad elbow. In fact, when the Phillies were in Miami, they did not see Brett Barbary. There's your old friend Vada Pinson down there with him, the first base coach.
Michael Smith celebrating a birthday today. He's 29th.
And the batter is Destrade, who struck out twice.
Triples have really hurt the Phillies in these first 2 games. Marlins had 3 last night.
Playable for Milt Thompson in left field. Drifts back, grabs it. That'll do it. But the Marlins get 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And they lead it 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 5th. Budweiser, the king of beers, to remind you friends know when to say when. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by the Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. Ben Rivera leads it off for the Phillies here in the 5th inning, followed by Dykstra and then Duncan. And Ryan Bowen's pitch is over for a strike. Bowen started out shakily, giving up 2 runs in the 1st inning. Phillies then had a leadoff double in the 2nd, but since that time he has settled down. They have just 1 hit. An infield hit by Milt Thompson. And his ball club leads it now 3-2 here in the 5th inning. Got him to chase a high fastball. Strikeout number 3 for Bowen. 1 out here in the 5th. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL-TV, Philadelphia.
Dykstra, the batter. Lenny doubled, scored a run in the 1st, hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. He's at 281 on a 1-for-2 night. Dykstra leading the league in runs scored. Bowen misses down low, 1-0. Bowen's been controlling his breaking ball a lot better.
Looks like he's even picked up a little velocity on his fastball. When he started this game, he wasn't throwing at all. Of course, you lose a little velocity on the fastball. You also lose a little on the curveball, but now he's throwing a little harder and a little more effective.
He has the hitters more aware of the curveball, too, that he can throw it for a strike. And Dykstra very patient, 2-0. See, they've been scoring runs for him lately. They weren't early in the year. Dykstra with 59 runs scored on the season. And down low. Lenny has also walked 49 times. Kruk leading the league in walks with 2 more tonight. He now has 55 of them. 3 balls and no strikes to Dykstra. Duncan on deck. Taking all the way, and he walks. Walk number 3 issued by Bowen. The Phillies with a 1-out base runner in the 5th for Duncan. 0-for-2. He grounded a second, moved Dykstra over in the 1st inning, and then he grounded out on a 3-1 hookup.
Duncan's a very important batter up here at the top of the order. You know, you have Kruk, Dalton, and Eisenreich. Thompson following all left-hand hitters. If Duncan can do some damage, then it really sets up the middle of that order.
Might make him have to pitch to Kruk, too, who's walked twice tonight. Bowen throwing over to first. Dykstra with 18 steals on the year and 22 attempts. Say hello to Matt Joseph at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia watching the ball game tonight. Bowen hardly ever throws over there hard. He just kind of lobs them over. Really haven't seen a good move from him yet.
Keeps throwing Duncan that curveball, and if he makes any kind of mistake and gets the ball up a little bit and over the plate, Duncan will really nail it. I mean, Duncan's a good curveball hitter. Once in a while he'll chase bad curveballs. If he gets a strike, he can hit it hard.
Boy, he'd like to have that one back. A fastball middle in. He takes it for a strike, 1-1. Might have been guessing breaking ball there.
You betcha, because that's about all he's seen.
Dykstra with a pretty good lead over at first. And Bowen moves over, just lobs it again. Bowen's using that slide step to the plate. And he's getting the ball to Santiago in a hurry. And Santiago, of course, is a good thrower. So even though he doesn't have a good move over to first, he does get the ball to the plate in a hurry. And that's also effective in holding runners. Watch how quick he is once he delivers it to the plate. Hardly lifts that leg at all. And it's high. 2-1.
It's a good hit and run pitch. but Fregosi doesn't hit and run very often. I think he wants hitters to pick their own pitch to hit rather than be committed to the pitch.
Dykstra does not go, and the pitch is inside. 3-1. A fastball almost hit Duncan. Well, now Mariano in a good hitting position, ahead in the count at 3-1 with Kruk waiting on deck.
And he'll get a fastball now and sit on it.
Lenny Dykstra at first base with 1 out in the 5th. Florida 3, Phillies 2. He has yet to make any kind of a move to first that would even be close to picking a runner off. Dykstra with 1 foot on the AstroTurf. He goes. Duncan hits it. That's a fair ball. Nice play by Arias, and Dykstra is nailed off second. He didn't see it, or else he thought it was foul. He came around second base, and Arias alertly fired down there and got him. Base running mistake. That'll be a base hit for Duncan.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe. The play was in front of Dykstra, so he should have seen it.
See Boa telling him to stay. See if he can pick out what happens here. He's running. He doesn't see the ball.
There he sees it.
Oh no, he's looking in the outfield.
That's right. He wasn't looking for the ball.
He was definitely looking in the outfield there, and that's what happened. He lost it. So now there are 2 outs, and here's Kruk. So the Phillies had a chance to have something going there.
I think sometimes you get trying too hard against a team you know you should beat. I think the harder you try, sometimes you should just kind of lie back and go with your talent. Don't push it. Don't force it.
Kruk takes it over for a strike.
Only in the 5th inning, but Phillies have not played a heads-up game here.
Something loose in the outfield, and the right fielder Felix is retrieving it. That's why time was called. So Ryan Bowen, who could be in a lot of trouble right now, takes a deep breath and finds himself with just a runner at first base and 2 outs for Kruk. Kruk second in the league with that .362 batting average. He scored a run tonight. Phillies' 2 runs came in the first on a 2-run double by Dalton. Bounces up there. Santiago can't find it. Duncan goes to second, and he'll stay there on the wild pitch.
Santiago, my dad was ahead of his time, Wheels. That's the way my dad used to cut my hair. Put a bowl around it. He was about 3 generations ahead of his time.
2 years, huh? That's the 3rd wild pitch on the year for Ryan Bowen. And now Kruk has a runner in scoring position and a count of 1-1 on John. Bowen misses outside. He wants a new baseball from Bruce Fremming. He's looking to get time from the second base umpire Winters. There's Dykstra in the Phillies dugout, who was just nailed coming around second when he lost sight of that ball.
You don't see him do that very often. He's an excellent base runner. Just messed up there.
2-1 to Kruk. Outside again. Just missed. 3-1. So Kruk once again has run a 3-ball count. 3rd straight time tonight. Darren Dalton waits on deck. Breaking ball, and he gets it over. Good pitch.
Flopped right through the middle, but you know, Kruk's up there looking fastball, so it didn't really make a difference where he threw it as long as he threw a strike. it fooled the batter.
How about that pitch, though, with Dalton on deck? If he walks him, then Dalton comes up with 2 on. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Kruk. He walked him. Here we go. Walk number 4 issued by Bowen. 3 of them to John Kruk. Dalton with a 2-run double in the first inning, knocking in runs 55 and 56. He struck out on a breaking ball in the third. So as you said, Whitey, Duncan was a big hitter in this inning, and he did deliver.
Usually that would help.
See if Dalton can chase somebody home. There are the runners, Duncan at second and Kruk at first. Eisenreich, the on-deck batter.
Bowen is throwing Dalton a lot of change-ups.
A lot of off-speed pitches because he hurt him with a fastball in the first inning. Dutch lined it off the top of the wall in left center for that double. Overthrew that pitch. Fastball 2-0.
Santiago talking it over with Bowen. I doubt if they'll give him Dalton a 2-0 changeup.
There's Marcel Latchman, the pitching coach. He's the brother of the manager, Rene Latchman.
Rene Latchman was a clubhouse boy with the Dodgers when I played out against the Dodgers.
Coliseum, huh?
Yeah.
Rene Latchman in his first year as manager, of course, here with Florida. He has managed before.
He said he remembered me as being a big tipper. Must have been somebody else he was thinking
Must have been
of.
Willie Jones. Here's a 2-0. Dalton thought that was high, maybe outside. It's 2-1.
It was certainly borderline and not a good pitch to swing at when you're 2-0. That was a good pitch. Fastball looked like it was just above the knees, right on the outside corner.
Well, Dalton thinks they're going to pitch around him when they got behind him 2-0. Now they're back at 2-2. Fastball, a looper into left field, and a base hit. Here comes Duncan. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the game is tied at 3 on another RBI by Darren Dalton.
He's knocked them all in for the Phillies tonight. That ties him with Matt Williams. I don't know what Matt Williams has done out in... I think they're playing where, in Cincinnati?
57-57 at this point. Here's the base hit, Whitey.
Kind of off the end of the bat, but he got enough of it to score the run. And Marcel Latchman out there to talk to his pitcher.
San Francisco Giants are playing at Houston tonight at the Astrodome. Doug Drabeck and Bud Black, the probables. So wildness in this inning, a couple of walks, an infield hit. Dykstra out at second base. There could be a big inning going for the Phillies, but they have gotten back and tied it, and the totals are even now at 3-6-0 for both clubs. And the inning's still alive with Kruk on at second and Dalton at first. Eisenreich is flied to left and grounded into a fielder's choice. Jim batting at .336. He's knocked in 22 runs. The on-deck batter is Thompson. Eisenreich up the middle, through for a base hit. Kruk being waved around. Chuck Carr's throw to the plate is not in time. Kruk scores. Eisenreich to second. Dalton to third, and Santiago wants to know how's he safe.
I believe Santiago got a tag on Kruk before he reached the plate. You'll see Santiago catch the ball and dive, and it looked like there was contact there. Rene Latchman, the manager out there. Now watch this. That was a good throw by Carr. a little to the first base side of the plate, but thrown hard. Now watch that dive for the tag. And I think he got him. That's a tough play to call.
I'll tell you what, Santiago gets in trouble on that play, though, because he takes that throw so far in front of the plate, and now he has to come back. I don't know if he got his hand, but Kruk comes past the plate. It's really close. If Santiago's back where he should be, there wouldn't have been any question about it. But he didn't block the plate. He went up in front of the plate. So my imagination, Whitey, or is Kruk always going to play at the plate anymore?
Yeah, John's not running that well, so, you know, anything where you have a chance to get the runner.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
One earlier tonight. Now Bowen's walking Thompson now, and he almost throws a wild pitch. They're going to load him up on purpose with walk number 5 for Kim Baptiste, who's doubled tonight. Phillies with 2 in the inning. That'll be a single, a run scored, an RBI. Eisenreich's 23rd of the year, and he moved to second while Santiago was turning around to argue.
This has been a 2-run inning. Could have been a lot more if things had been the same, but
it's Richie Lewis, a former Florida State University phenom, starting to loosen up. This guy was a great strikeout pitcher in the minors in college.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that comes in this time of the game, usually 6th, 7th inning.
Well, Kim Baptiste in a big spot here. He's 1 for 2 with that double. He's grounded into a double play. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Phil's ahead now by a run at 4-3. Breaking ball and a great play by Santiago. Oh, what a good play he made there.
And a dive outside and in the dirt. Well, he really blocks balls nicely.
Backhanded that one, which is not the way you teach it. But he can get away with a lot of things that other catchers can't because he's so quick.
Well, see, catchers have those trapper mitts now. That has changed the techniques of catching a lot.
1 ball, no strikes to Baptiste. And time is called.
That's what Kim has to do here is to get a strike. Make sure he gets a strike.
Bounces up there, a wild pitch. Dalton scores. Everybody else moves up, and it's 5-3.
You talk about a wild pitch. That was a fastball that bounced way up in front of home plate. And that really makes it hard for a catcher. Look where that hit. That exploded.
No chance.
Exploded off that dirt cutout there.
Whitey, that ball bounced so high it almost went over the screen behind home plate. It hit the very top of the screen down there.
Well, it bounced off Santiago. He got a little piece of it, but he just couldn't hold it.
2 wild pitches in the inning now for Bowen. Baptiste up the middle and through for a base hit. Eisenreich scores. Here comes Thompson, the throw to the plate. They'll try it again, and he's safe again. And Santiago can't believe it this time. Phillies get 2 more, and he's out of the game. Bruce Fleming threw Santiago out, and he just bumped him.
Yeah, that bump may cost him something. You don't want to mess around with Bruce Fleming.
He threw him right out of the ball game and then bumped him.
I'll tell you one thing, there's been some good throws from that Florida outfield in this inning. They haven't gotten a call at home plate, but
look at Fleming's eyes as he's talking to Latchman.
I hate to see Bruce get all worked up. A year ago, he was in pretty bad shape in the hospital.
You said it's another terrific throw by Carr. Santiago throws his mask, throws the baseball.
Yeah, he's safe there.
Yep.
That was a safe, good slide by Milt Thompson.
Phillies now lead at 7-3.
A year ago, Fleming was having his arteries cleared out. They call that something. Ooh.
Tell you what, some of this is Santiago's fault. Now watch the bump right here after Bruce throws him out. Here it comes. He's going to throw him out right there. Now watch right here.
He brushed
now he bumps him afterwards.
Yeah, he brushed him. I don't think that's going to be any great penalty.
And now Latchman and Fremming are still going at each other. If Santiago would get back near the plate, he'd have a better chance to tag these runners out, but he takes the throw in front all the time. And then he has to go back and make the tag. He doesn't block the plate.
A lot of catchers do that. They can't wait for the ball to get in there. They want to get to the ball in a hurry and then make their move on the runner.
Or they don't want to block the plate. Now, a guy like Dalton stands there and puts up a roadblock, and it's a lot tougher for the runner to get home. Well, watch where he takes the throw.
That's a good throw.
See, he gives him the plate to slide at here.
Now, if he'd have stayed with that leg, stayed back a little bit, he could have probably changed Thompson's slide, or at least changed the direction of his leg. He could have just...
Season high. Has not allowed an earned run in 13 out of his 18 appearances and 7 out of his last 9. Well, Richie Lewis comes on now in relief of Ryan Bowen, who looked like he might get out of this inning.
He throws that good fastball and a hard slider and a straight changeup. I tell you, the Marlins have some pitchers. That guy that closes, that Brian Harvey, he's as good as there is.
In either leg, it looks like, with Eckersley struggling this year. Richie Lewis is stockily built. He's 5'10", 180-pounder. Selected by the Marlins in their 13th pick of the expansion draft. As I mentioned, he's a graduate of Florida State University. He was an All-American there in his sophomore and junior seasons in 86 and 87. Had 202 strikeouts in 128 innings as a sophomore when he went 14-2. Was drafted by the Montreal Expos in the second round of the June draft in 87. He's been on the disabled list a lot in his career. He's also been in the Baltimore organization. Morandini fouls it off. Mickey 0 for 2 tonight. Phillies have batted around. This inning started with Rivera striking out. 3 walks, 2 wild pitches. And 4 hits later, the Phillies have 5 runs and lead at 7-3. They trailed by a run going into the inning. Lewis is a grunter out there. You can hear him. 1 ball, 1 strike on Morandini with Rivera waiting. So Ben Rivera, who had given up the lead, now has it back. Way inside. Kim Batiste is on at second base. He took second on the throw to the plate. Morandini pops it up towards short. Walt Weiss, the call. He makes the play, and the Phillies score 5 times in the inning, and they now lead it by a score of 7-3 as we head to the 7th. Double the ball.
He bobbled and then hurt his throw. He had time. Hurried the throw and just threw it high and wide. Cook tried to make the tag. That's a nice evasion there by Conine to avoid the tag. He got low.
Yeah, good anticipation by Conine. That's a tough, dangerous play, though, for a base runner. You saw he almost hurt himself going into that bag.
Well, you just kind of, that's a panic slide, you know, that you can't really choose the kind of a slide you want there. You just do what you have to do to get out of the way of the tag at first.
It's an out-of-control move if there ever is one. Here's Junior Felix, a switch hitter. And the pitch is outside. Junior batting .237 right-handed, .220 left-handed at game time. He is 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI hit. Mitch Leiden waits on deck. Leiden only with 4 at-bats so far this season. Hit high in the air down the line, and it is going to be a foul ball, but he hit it well. Nice play by that guy. And the count on Junior Felix now at 1 ball and 1 strike, formerly with Toronto and California. Felix with 7 home runs, 4 of them right-handed, 3 from the left side. Breaking ball, and he gets it over 1-2.
He loves to throw that curve. I think he feels that he has better control with his curve than he does his fastball, because he throws that curve in a lot of situations where you wouldn't necessarily look for it.
There it is again, and he got him looking, struck him out. Strikeout number 1 for Davis. Number 5 for Phillies pitching, as Rivera had 4. And here's Mitch Leiden. Leiden playing last year at Tidewater in the Mets system. Signed originally by the New York Yankees. Became the 38th National League player and 67th in Major League history to homer in his first at bat when he homered at Wrigley Field the other day. He's hitting .324 at Edmonton when he was called up. 7 homers, 27 runs batted in. Came up on June 1st when Bob Nadel went on the DL.
He's a big, strapping young man.
6'3", 225-pounder now makes his home in Fort Lauderdale. Got to be nice for him playing with this ball club. Oh, rips a base hit to left field. Stopping at second is Conine. So the Marlins have 2 on here in the 6th with 1 out for Walt Weiss, and then a pinch hitter coming up for Richie Lewis.
Now watch this kid swing the bat. I mean, that's a major league swing. Hit a bullet.
Weiss tonight 0 for 2. First 2 at bats coming left-handed. He's a better hitter from the left side, average-wise. Geronimo Berroa has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Lewis. There is Berroa. And Weiss takes it over for a strike.
Weiss hit a home run in Wrigley Field that last trip, and it was the first home run he hit since 1989. He's not a home run hitter.
Well, he hit it in that homer-friendly park. Outside, if you missed it today, the Cardinals lost to the Chicago Cubs. I believe the score was 8-3. Another wild game at Wrigley Field. One ball, 1 strike on Weiss with 2 on and 1 out. Phillies lead at 7-3 here in the 6th. Curveball gets it over again. Mark Davis on in relief of Ben Rivera pitching his first inning. We're in the 6th. 1-2. Ground ball to third. Batiste will go to Morandini for 1. Back to first, safe. The Weiss running pretty well down the line beats him. Marlins have runners at the corners now with 2 outs, and here comes Berroa.
Ball was hit sharply. Really gave Morandini a good throw. Weiss just did beat it.
Geronimo Berroa, right-handed batter. 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. 4 for 29 overall. This guy was recalled the last day the Phillies were down in Florida, back on the 18th of May. He was at Edmonton, where he was leading all AAA hitters with 18 doubles at the time, batting .379. Breaking ball in the dirt, and a good play by Dalton. Phillies have seen Berroa before in a Cincinnati Reds uniform, also with Atlanta and the Toronto organization. I think thing about playing these expansion teams, you haven't had a chance to see a lot of these guys before in different unis.
That's where they all came from.
All over the place.
Yep.
As you said, they did a good job selecting their players. 1-0 to Baroa to second base. Morandini will take it himself, and that'll do it here in the 6th. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Phil's lead is 7-3.
Dear Midas customers,
Third pitcher of the night employed by Rene Lachemann for the Florida Marlins, the former St. Louis Cardinal #1 pick, University of Georgia All-American punter, Chris Carpenter out of Great Gainesville, Georgia. There are the numbers on the right-hander. Carpenter against the Phillies lifetime 2-1 with 21 games with a 3.40 earned run average. Been pitching well for them. He has not allowed a run in his last 6 outings. And Mark Davis is going to lead off. Mark Davis has yet to make a plate appearance this year.
There was a rumor that the Phillies were interested in Chris Carpenter.
Well, Lee Thomas has always liked Chris Carpenter. Lee was with the Cardinals when he was drafted #1. And the Phillies, when they were looking for help out of the bullpen, thought about Chris Carpenter. I know Lee talked to Florida about him and Weiss and some others. And they weren't able to make any deal. There's Lee in his box down the third baseline. He never likes to see himself on television. There's Ed Wade, his very competent assistant with him. At one time, Larry Schenk's intern in the PR department. So Davis will lead it off. Davis, Dykstra, Duncan to face Chris Carpenter. And Mark takes it low for ball 1. Phillies 7-8-1. The Marlins 3-7-0 into the bottom of the 6th inning. Chris Wheeler with Rich Ashburn. Harry Callis back in the 7th.
Davis' first at-bat this season, and he's a good hitter in batting practice. I don't know what that means.
I just looked up the sheet we have here on him, and they don't have his lifetime hitting totals. This is his first plate appearance of 1993. 2 balls and 1 strike on Mark. And he beats it fair to Destrade, who will run to the bag and get him 1 away. Ben Rivera tonight had been 0 for 2. And to the top of the order, Lenny Dykstra. Lenny with another good night, has doubled, scored, hit a fly ball to center, and walked in the 5th to get that inning started. He was caught rounding second on a base running mistake, but the Phillies picked him up as they wound up getting 5 runs with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Fouled away. Mentioned that they carry 12 pitchers to the Florida Marlins. They're down to just Greg Briley, a left-handed hitter, and Rich Renteria, a right-handed batter. Magadan has a bad elbow, and they said they didn't want him to play or swing the bat tonight, so we'll see if he's available as this game progresses. So not too many moves left for Lachemann. Dykstra fouls it away, 0-2. There's the manager of the Marlins sitting there in the dugout. That former clubhouse guy for the Dodgers.
He was signed as a young man by Kansas City. He wanted to play with the Dodgers. He grew up there and worked in the clubhouse.
Catcher Lenny fouls it off. Lenny Dykstra against Chris Carpenter on in his first inning of work. We are in the 6th inning. Phillies with a 4-run lead, trying to snap a 3-game skid. The Cardinals had a lot of high hopes for this guy, Chris Carpenter. It never really worked for him in St. Louis. Florida hoping that he can give them some good innings. Dykstra swings at a high fastball, fouls it off. Fly ball to center field. A lot of room out there for Chuck Carr. He casually makes the play. 2 down. And Mariano Duncan, the batter. Duncan's grounded out twice, got an infield hit and scored in the 5th. Mariano batting at .281 with 6 homers on the year, 16 runs batted in. First inning, he gave himself up to move Kruk over to third, or Dykstra over to third. Fastball over for a strike. Kruk waits on deck, and John has walked 3 times in the game, scored a couple runs. Good fastballs, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Made 2 perfect pitches on Dunk. One inside corner, one outside corner. Both down.
0-2 to Duncan. Breaking ball missed outside, 1-2. Carpenter basically fastball slider. He's added a changeup. He's always been primarily a hard thrower. Gets jammed, and the ball caroms off the camera deck and into the crowd. Phillies had over close to 40,000 here last night. 38,855. And they have well over 30 in the ballpark again tonight, with huge crowds expected Saturday and Sunday, and also for the Braves series. Duncan swings and misses. He strikes out. Carpenter has a strong inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Harry Callis joins Whitey in
the magazine centerfold. Ed Marinero and Melody Anderson star in Policewoman's Centerfold, only on PHL 17. Harry Callis with us in the 7th. Harry.
All right, thanks, Rich. And Chuck Carr leads off, tried to bunt at the ball. It was a high pitch, but he committed on the bunt try. 1 strike to Carr. He has a swinging bunt single, a ground out, and a triple. Curveball missing just a bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mark Davis in his 2nd inning, in relief of Ben Rivera. Curveball, Ellen's over for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes to Carr. Fastball hit sharply on the ground. Morandini will have to hurry. He does. Got him by a stride. Nice play by Morandini.
Well, once Carr gets underway down that line, he really can fly. Was a good play. Had to be.
Got him by a long stride, and the batter will be Alex Arias, who was lined out to left, singled, and hit a sacrifice fly. Davis getting the curveball over. 1 strike to Arias. Missing with a curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Arias has hurt the Phillies. Games these 2 teams have played, had a 4-hit game, and one of them down in Florida.
Funny, this club, an expansion team, has a lot of players with more playing time than say the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh with all those rookies.
Fouls it down the right field side. It'll be out of play. It's 2-2 to Alex Arias. They got Arias in the offseason, in the offseason trade with the Cubs along with Gary Scott for Greg Hibbert, then moving Scott to Cincinnati. Pickup pitcher Chris Hammond, who we saw last night. Curveball over the head of Davis. Duncan throws out Arias. It's 2 down, and that'll bring up Brett Barbary. Barbary is struck out, grounded out, and singled. Davis evidently got the tip of his glove on that. It scored 1-6-3. Missing with the fastball. Missing again with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Phil's lead 7-3 here in the 7th. Got that fastball over. 2-1. He's high with it. 3 balls and a strike. High chop to Batiste. Low throw and pulled Kruk off the bag. Kruk with a good scoop, but wasn't on the bag. It'll be an error on Batiste. Barbary at first with 2 outs for Orestes Destrade.
Kruk made a good scoop, but in order to get the scoop, he stepped off the bag, tried to get back. That's close. He came close to holding the bag and making the scoop. That was a tough scoop because it was an in-between hop. Wasn't one of those little short hops.
Larry Anderson gets up in the Phillies bullpen as Johnny Padres has a visit with Mark Davis. He popped him up in the infield. Mariano Duncan makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. 1 error and 1 left. Stretch time. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Phil's lead 7-3. Trucker's been the walking man tonight. 3 times up, 3 walks. Leads the league in that department. He's walked 56 times. Leads the league in on-base percentage. Facing Chris Carpenter here. 1 ball and no strikes. Carpenter is in his 2nd inning in relief of Richie Lewis. Kruk lifetime 5 for 10 off Carpenter.
Phillies kind of broke this open a little bit in the 5th inning. They were trailing 3-2, had a 5-run 2-out rally in that 5th. Kruk has 3 walks, a couple of runs scored. As Harry said, his 56 walks lead the league. Dalton has a home or a double and a single with 3 RBIs. He's tied Matt Williams, as far as we know, with 57 RBIs to lead the league. Phillies 3 doubles tonight, and their 134 doubles leads the league.
2 balls and a strike to the Krucker.
Kruk really wants to swing here. He hasn't swung the bat in anger all night.
Well, one of the reasons that Darren Dalton leads the league in runs batted is because Kruk will take a walk. He will get on base for it. Of course, Dykstra's on base a lot. So Dutch has RBI opportunities. Kruk, the on-base percentage leader. Into left field, not real deep. Conine there. Kruk has retired one down. That'll bring on Darren Dalton. Dutch has doubled, struck out, and singled, knocked in 3. Hard ground ball juggled by Destrade, recovers and throws out Dalton. 2 down, and that'll bring on Jim Eisenreich. He's flied a deep left, hit into a fielder's choice, and singled.
Ball hit sharply, bounced up on Destrade, and then he had the presence of mind to give his pitcher a good throw at the bag.
Eisenreich 1 for 3, keeping a hitting streak going. He sits safely now in 8 straight games. One ball and no strikes.
Eisenreich knocked in the go-ahead run in that 5th inning.
Two balls and no strikes to Eisenreich. Three and nothing. Got that one over. 3 balls and a strike. Fly ball to left. Conine there waiting. Makes the grab. That'll retire the side. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. Plan. Larry Anderson will come in to pitch for the Phillies now, coming on for Mark Davis, who worked 2 shutout innings, gave up 1 hit and no runs. 1 strikeout and no walks. Anderson appearing in his 22nd game. He's won 3, lost 1, a 2.41 ERA, no saves. 18 2/3 innings, given up 16 hits, 5 earned runs. Has struck out 17 and walked 5.
And he's done a good job. They really missed him the time that he was out. He was out with an injury, arm injury.
Teasing earlier whether he was going to play in the doubleheader tomorrow. He was with that 83 National League Championship Phillies team.
Well, there are guys playing in that are younger than Larry.
Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Jeff Conine leads it off. Line drive center field. Dykstra right there. 1 down on 1 pitch. That'll bring up Junior Felix. Felix has popped up, singled, and struck out. Then Rivera went the first 5. Would be his game to win. Mark Davis going the next 2, and now Anderson. Phillies lead at 7-3 with a big 5 spot in the 5th inning. One strike to Junior Felix. Two strikes to Felix. the ball foul. Mitch Leiden waiting on deck. One ball and 2 strikes. Bouncing ball. Morandini's going to have to hurry. Did not get him. Not much Mickey could do. It'll be an infield single for Junior Felix.
Only other thing he could have done was charge the ball and get it a little quicker off that high bounce. Felix got down the line in a hurry.
Brings on Mitch Leiden, the catcher. He's singled in his only at bat. Came in when Benito Santiago was ejected from the game. Got a bat 5 times, and he has 2 hits thus far in the major leagues. There were a lot of organizations drafted by the Yankees 3rd round in '83. Signed by Cleveland, signed by Detroit, signed by the Mets, and picked up by the Marlins. His first shot at Major League ball. Fouls that one back and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Leiden. He's 28 years old from Fort Lauderdale. Went to Beaverton, Oregon High School. Flies it to deep right, but Eisenreich is there. Leiden is out. 2 down, and that'll bring on Walt Weiss. Right-hander Trevor Hoffman is up in the bullpen. Here's Walt Weiss. Weiss has twice grounded out, hit into a fielder's choice. 1 ball and no strikes. Fans, as you can hear, engaging in the wave. 2-0 to Walt Weiss. Phillies lead 7-3 here in the 8th. Loops it into shallow left. Milt Thompson there. That'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies lead it 7-3. Hill and Milt Thompson leads it off. Thompson has struck out, singled, and walked. Phil's leading 7-3. Pretty good pitchers duel up in Montreal, evidently. Martinez over Smoltz 2-1.
Martinez has really been a good pitcher in his last half-dozen starts.
3 balls and no strikes to Milt Thompson. Carpenter is in his 3rd inning in relief of Richie Lewis, the former Georgia Bulldog punter. He's retired all 6 that he's faced thus far, but he's behind Thompson 3-0. Got that one over. Phillies have bullpen activity. David West is throwing. Well, hit to left, but Conine is there. makes the catch. Thompson's out, 1 down. I guess if they get down to the 1,000 hitter, they'd hit for him, huh? Larry Anderson.
He'll do anything to protect that average, though.
Well, Manager Jim Fregosi said it's protected. He said, you're not going to get another opportunity to hit. Here's Kim Baptiste, who is 2 out of 3. He's doubled, hit into a double play, and single to knock in 2. 1 strike to him. Baptiste has that average back over the 300 mark at 311, filling in for Dave Hollins. In the air to center. Carr started back. Now he comes on and makes the catch. There's the ageless one. Jim sending him in the tunnel and said, don't even think about grabbing a bat. 2 down. And it'll bring on Mickey Morandini. Morandini 0 for 3 is twice grounded out and popped up. Phillies were trying to get Chris Carpenter, this right-hander. He's looked good tonight. He's retired all 8 that he's faced. One ball and 1 strike. Missing with his slider. It's 2-1. Foul tip. Morandini called out on strike. Second strikeout for that movie on PHL 17, Money Pit, is a very funny movie, Whitey, if you haven't seen it.
What is it?
Money Pit. It's about the renovation of homes. A big mansion. What did he say that attendance was?
37,925. Another big crowd. Not quite as big as last night. Almost 40,000 last night.
Sold out on Sunday.
I'm going to have a good crowd for the game tomorrow night with the old timers playing at 6 o'clock.
Still some tickets available for that game. The 83 National League champs will be here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Briley. Briley hitting at .231. As a pinch hitter, he's 6 out of 20. One ball and 2 strikes. Close. 2-2. Chop foul. Sunday, July 11th, when the Phillies play those San Francisco Giants. Barry Bonds and company will have a brand new exciting giveaway item for all youngsters 14 and under. Strike 3 called. Struck him out. A red mesh jersey. Looks like the Phillies batting practice jersey. It's a new item. Compliments of Modell Sporting Goods. So mark that one down in your calendars. Sunday, July 11th. Batting practice jersey, a new item for all youngsters 14 and under. Order your tickets now for that big series with the Giants. And Sunday, the giveaway for all youngsters, July 11th. Let's call 463-1000 for tickets. Chuck Carr is 2 out of 4 with an infield single and a triple.
Anderson just keeps throwing almost all sliders or cut fastballs.
2 balls and no strikes.
He gets a lot of mileage out of that pitch, especially against right-hand hitters. They really have trouble catching up to that little slider. It doesn't break very far. It breaks quickly.
2-1 the count to Chuck Carr. He fouls it out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ninth inning, and the Phillies lead it 7-3. Just foul tipped and a good catch by Dalton. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Anderson. Phils with a win will have a 9.5 game lead over St. Louis, 10 over Montreal. One strike to Arias, who's 1 out of 3 with a sac fly and a run batted in. Tigers lost tonight 6-3, but that Cecil Fielder hit 2 more home runs. He's been on a tear.
17 now?
Yep. Poked into center, and that'll drop for a hit. Dykstra takes it on 1 hop. So Arias is a 2-out base runner, and that'll bring up Brett Barbary. Barbary has struck out, grounded out, singled, and lived on an error. He takes a strike. Loops a foul down the left field side. No balls and 2 strikes to Brett Barbary. Now the 37,000 plus anticipating the final out of this game. 0-2 to Brett Barbary. Missed wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just missed the outside corner.
Stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Low, it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Brett Barbary. Fouls off another one. Nice catch by a fan in the front row of the upper deck. count. Three and two to Barbary. High fly ball to right. Jim Eisen right there. This ball game is over. The Phillies have won it 7-3. Strong 2 innings by Larry Anderson to finish it up. For the Marlins in the ninth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Phils win by a score of 7-3, and we'll be back with the total.